we are talking about how to get $100,000 of business credit in only 6 months. We're going to decode everything you need to know to be able to successfully do this. And we got a lot to cover, so let's dive in. So let's start right from the beginning. So first of all, today you're going to learn how to build $100,000 of business credit in as little as 6 months. And if you see me doing this little thing right now, I'm just trying to figure out my desk here to get it up to my level. So we're going to see how to build $100,000 in business credit in as little time as 6 months, without income, without assets, regardless of the age of your business. We're also going to be talking about how to run your business using business credit. Look, there's a lot of reasons you may think that you can't get business credit: income, assets, you've only just started your business, for example. We're going to go through all of those. I'm going to show you how to succeed no matter what barrier you faced before. We're also going to talk about not just how to get business credit, but how you can actually successfully manage and run and grow your business using business credit. Because again, it's not a matter of just getting business credit to get it. It's a matter of getting it so you can strategically use OPM, other people's money, to be able to grow and scale your business. And I'm going to walk you through the exact steps that you need to take to succeed as well. Now, are you in the right place? Well, if you want the fast track to build your business credit, I mean, if you are looking to condense this process from many years down to just months, we are going to talk about how to do that today. We're also going to talk about, how to get very high limits on business credit cards. Look, a lot of our clients get $10,000, $30,000, $50,000 individual limits. One of my clients, Christine, got $300,000 credit line. So we're going to talk about exactly how that works. We're even going to look at case studies of people that have had this success. We're going to talk about how to use a proven system. This is very important that I go through this. Look, I have been doing this a long time. And in the time I've been doing it, especially over the last few years, a lot of overnight internet gurus on TikTok and YouTube have popped up, oftentimes using a lot of my stuff to teach you what they know about building business credit. This is not about what I know because I built my business credit. I'm here to teach you what I've learned by helping nearly 50,000 people through this process. So this is not just theory. This is a tested, proven system that literally tens of thousands of people have went through and succeeded with. I'm going to teach you how to avoid being turned down applying for business credit. And the reason this is important is because most people that take a long time to build business credit, it's because they don't know how to do it right and they get denied. They apply for credit, they get denied. They apply and get denied. They apply and get denied. They apply and get approved. And all those denials take time, and it lengthens the process and makes it way longer than it actually should be. And we're going to talk about how you can use business credit to take your business to the next level. Now, I've got multiple things I'm managing today. So right now I'm managing a live stream that's streaming to a lot of different locations. And I'm also managing a webinar. So that being said, all you need to do is you need to come in, and if you have questions, if you have comments, just put them in the chat and I will make sure that we are here to talk to you. Now, Jay Mendoza, all you have to do is check the webinar registration, and the webinar registration will give you the phone number that you're able to call in. So all you have to do is actually check that out, Jay Mendoza, and that will give you what you need there. So again, tell me where you're coming in from. And if you don't mind, just so I can speak to you directly, tell me what industry you're in. If you tell me what industry that you are in, then I can easily come in and I can easily be able to say hello to you and give you a shout out as well. Okay, so if you are staying to the end of today's training, you're going to get all this. I'm going to give you a playback of this event. I want you to be able to be here and be present. I don't want you to have to focus on taking a bunch of notes and screenshots. You're going to actually get the playback of this event that you can go through on your own time. You're going to get 30 days of free business credit monitoring from Experian, Equifax, and Dun & Bradstreet. You're also going to get a no-cost business finance assessment to talk about all the financing you can get now. And we're also going to do a fundability qualification. So we're going to help you fix your fundability, get your business credit reports for free and go through those with you, even talk to you about all the financing that you're able to qualify for. All of that is going to happen if you just stay to the end. All of that you are going to have access to. Now, that being said, Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I've got over 20 years in the financial services industry. Ever since I got out of the military, I've been involved in financial services. I'm international speaker on business credit. I speak about this stuff all the time. I'm going to Sharks and Angels right now this week, as a matter of fact. I'm headed to Las Vegas in a matter of days, and I'll be speaking on a stage at the Mirage Casino about business credit, just to give you some kind of idea of where I am and how much I talk about this. I was in Miami weeks ago. I'm going back to Las Vegas for the NACLB, the National Association of Commercial Loan Brokers. I teach some of the biggest operations that help businesses, that company people buy businesses, all the way to people that are using business credit to be able to grow their business, to make all kinds of lending decisions. And again, I speak about this all over the country as well. And I want to give a shout out. A lot of people coming in from a lot of industries here. We have trucking. We have Memphis is in the house. A lot of people in commercial real estate, nonprofit. So a lot of cool people here from a lot of places. Joseph Allen, real estate, logistics. So everybody, don't mind. Tell me where you're coming in from. I always like to know your industry so we can speak a little bit more to the industry that you are in. And let me continue to look through here. That's on the registration page. Okay. So that being said, all right. Also, I have a business credit authority with news stations, podcasts, radio, TV, Inc., Forbes, Entrepreneur, blah, 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 right? I'm everywhere. I mean, you'll find me in some of the biggest, most well-known publications, as well as the fact, if you go to our website, I think you'll see interviews from ABC and CBS and NBC. When these guys have questions about business credit, I'm the one that they come to have those questions answered. And it's large part because I oversee the largest business credit partner division in the United States. It's not just that I've helped nearly 50,000 people through this process. It's also that I oversee a network of partners of thousands of loan brokers that offer business credit financing. And I'm the one and my team that helps them get the training they need to actually be able to succeed, to be able to offer business credit financing. I don't tell you any of this to brag. I tell you this because I want you to know I'm qualified to be here. I'm qualified to have this conversation. This isn't just, hey, this worked for me and I got auto financing without a personal guarantee. Yeah, been there, done that for like 30,000 people. So everything I'm telling you today is from proven experience that I've accumulated over this last 2 decades. Now, Credit Suite, we've helped over almost now 50,000 business owners build business credit. Most entrepreneurial company by Entrepreneur Magazine, Inc. 5000 every year. We've even submitted anything to Inc. We've been on the fastest growing company list. A+ rated with the BBB, hundreds of reviews online, actual video testimonials, podcast. We're featured also in the biggest magazine. So I tell you this because, again, we're not an overnight company. We're not a little, or I'm not saying little, but we're not a 6 or even a 7-figure business. So we're a pretty well-established 8-figure business that's been doing this a long time. All of this knowledge is coming from what we've accumulated knowledge-wise from helping all of our clients through this process. And again, just became a partner. James Ray, congratulations. And JR Renee is out here in Tampa, Florida, and Melissa's coming in from Georgia as well. Chicago, we've got cybersecurity in the house. So we've got a lot of different industries here, and I welcome all of you. Thanks for coming in. So look, let's address the problem. There's a cash access crisis right now. It takes money to make money. We all know it. And bootstrapping is no longer cutting, and it's becoming more and more difficult with things like inflation, with costs going up, with service or with delays in being able to get what you need to be able to deliver products and services. There's more challenges potentially now than there's been in a long time that we faced. And you don't want to probably sell equity in your company either. It's harder to get traditional loans than ever before. And finding real answers is difficult. This is actually interesting because when I first started here, there was no information on business credit on YouTube. It didn't even exist. Like you'd search business credit and every result would be my content for a long time because nobody was talking about it. The problem now is that so many people are talking about it and there's a lot of misinformation. So my Facebook group has 65,000 people in it. And most of the information between the people in the group is not accurate. And somebody once asked me, they're like, hey, Ty, why don't you jump in and correct this? I'm like, because there's only 24 hours in the day. Like if I spent all 24, I couldn't correct all the misinformation that's out there. So finding the real answer, the real truth is difficult with all these overnight gurus that are out there. And you've got to have real options for long-term success because, Again, it's really hard to build a business if you don't have access to the capital to do so. And it's not getting easier. As we mentioned, inflation is here. Recession is a real concern. Employee turnover is rampant right now, and competition's more fierce than ever. At the same time, banks are tightening their guidelines as they always do, especially when the economy shifts. So you need a real solution, not something in theory, but something that actually really works. And again, probably need it more now than ever before. But if you look at the other side of things like this, here's one of our clients that easily come in and got $61,000 in business credit lines. And in this case, they used a program called Credit Line Hybrid, which I'll introduce to you later. This is in 3 weeks' time. So in 3 weeks, get $61,000. Don't get me wrong. We're going to talk about ways today that you're able to get money in as little as 72 hours. But this just gives you an idea of what's possible, that in a very short period of time, you can actually access loans, business credit, and credit lines to be able to grow and scale your business and to be able to navigate the unexpected. Look, I've been doing this a long time. I've been an entrepreneur through the 2008 mortgage crisis. I lost everything. They literally cleaned out my bank accounts because I personally guaranteed my business debts. They came in and took the money all out of my bank account. Okay. On top of that, they put business credit accounts on my personal credit, ruined my personal credit. All my available credit went away. So I've been through not just one, but multiple crises before where the economy changed and things go through a big shakeup. But I can tell you the people that make it and thrive are the ones that have access to capital. And that's what you should be looking at right now. We've already stocked up on a loan and credit line to navigate what's ahead. This is exactly hopefully why you're here too, because you want to stay ahead of it and get money before you desperately need it, because in time, banks will continue to tighten up guidelines. So is this even possible? Can you really get $100,000 in business credit in 6 months? The answer is absolutely, and here's how. It starts with a fundable foundation. Now, there's a lot to fundability. We're going to talk a little bit about it today. There's actually 5 core components to fundability, but you got to start with the right foundation, and we'll talk about why that's so important here in the minutes to come. Then you got to start building your business credit. You got to use that foundation to build a credit profile and score for your business so your business can start to fund itself, where it doesn't rely as much on your personal credit or personal guarantee. Then you need to add reporting business credit lines. It's not just enough to have a credit report. So many people say to me, I have an 80 paydex score. That literally means you pay your bills as agreed. Nobody cares. What they care about is that you're paying your bills as agreed with a lot of different credit issuers. So you've got to start adding credit lines to those business credit reports. And now more you have, as you're going to see today, and I'll show you real credit reports to validate this, the more you have, the more money you'll get. What happens is the more trade lines or accounts you add to business credit reports, the more the credit bureaus recommend that you be issued even more money. And that's why credit issuers and lenders give you higher approvals. And you've got to build the perfect business credit portfolio for a long-term growth strategy. You've got to be able to get money now, and we've got to be able to have a business credit portfolio built that allows you to be able to get credit lines, loans, and credit cards as you continue to grow your business. And hello. Thanks for coming in. Venetia from Tax Industry in here in Austin, Texas. I appreciate it. D'Angelo from Georgia is in the house as well. Give me a shout out. Tell me where you're coming in from. And at the same time, if you don't mind, tell me what industry you're in. So that way I know that I'm speaking direct to you when we're talking about what's possible today. And we've got Detroit in the house as well. So Detroit, thanks for coming in. West Columbia, South Carolina, and the transportation industry is in the house as well. So look, you need business credit. It maximizes your cash flow. And what I mean by this is that you don't want to take money out of your bank account or to use a debit card for something you could use a credit card for. Not only do you get points on credit cards, but it lets you spread out your spending so you have the money when you actually need it that's cash. And if you can either credit cards and keep it there a longer period of time or pay it off before you even incur any interest. You need to get fast access to what you need. This isn't something that you could take years to be able to build. And if you need to buy something, if you need to take advantage of an opportunity, you need to do it right now. And that is the point. Is that a lot of times, I believe that success happens when opportunity meets preparation. If you're prepared and the opportunity presents itself, that's when you really find true success. But if opportunities present themselves, what they will definitely do, especially when economies shift, then you're not prepared to take advantage of it. You miss that opportunity. And I don't know about you, but I can name many times in my life where I've missed opportunity because I wasn't properly prepared. Some of those still haunt me today. We don't want to have that happen. And having business credit gives you the ability to get the money you need to take advantage of those opportunities. You need to protect your cash from fraud. Fraud is rampant. I don't know about you. My bank sends me at least a notice every week of some new scam that's going on from all these fraudsters trying to take money out of my bank account. So we've got to protect ourselves. And again, by smartly using credit, it helps us do so, helps us separate business and personal credit. This allows your business to stand on its own. It allows your business to fund itself when it's separate from you personally. And SBA, SCORE, Inc., Entrepreneur, every financial authority says the same thing. You just got to do this. You cannot use your personal credit to fund a business. Do you know why? Because it wasn't designed to do that. That's the point. Is that personal credit, if we look at FICO and we look at factors like utilizations, 1/3 of your score, then you can't put business debts and fund a business on personal credit cards that have low limits of $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. $5, $10, $20,000 low limit consumer credit cards weren't designed to fund a business. $30,000, $50,000, $100,000 commercial credit cards were designed to fund a business. So you can't use personal credit to fund your business or you'll ruin your scores. Then you lose out on all kinds of credit lines and loans you could have got. So we've got to separate personal and business credit to separate liability, give our business the ability to fund itself as well. And that frees up our personal credit so we can smartly use that to obtain even more money. And it's also used for business loan approvals. Look, your business credits is important to your business getting money as consumer credit is to you as an individual getting money. If you don't have business credit, it's going to be hard to get commercial real estate. It's going to be hard to get equipment and inventory. It's going to be hard to get credit lines and loans and all these other things that you need because they're all looking at your business credit quality. And it just improves the overall value of your business, bottom line. Okay. And I forget, I saw this the other day. We were talking to the guys I'm actually going to present to a conference called Sharks and Angels in Las Vegas. And one of the group that's hosting it is Angel Investors Network. And Angels Investors Network is a network of angel investors. Basically, it's one place you can go to and tap into all these different angels. And so we met with them the other day, and they're getting and working with Credit Suite for them to help their angels or to help their actual clients, the people they want to invest in, build business credit. And a lot of them said the same thing. We will not even look at a company that doesn't have business credit established. So if you want outside investors to ever invest money in your company or you ever want to exit and sell, you got to build business credit. It's a big contributor to the value of your business. And there's a lot of benefits besides that. Per SBA, the limits on business credit accounts are 10 to 100 times higher than personal credit. Look, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 limits do not impress me. I'm in the business world, and in the business world, $30,000, $50,000 plus limits is just what we're used to. And that's the kind of limits that you need to be able to successfully fund a business. Net 30, 60, 90, and revolving accounts. Okay, so net 30, 60, 90, and revolving accounts, all these terms are available where you can be able to get the terms that you need over 30 days, 60, 90 days. You can also get revolving accounts as well. Many vendors do not charge interest either. Okay, so again, the nice thing is in a lot of cases, this is very cheap money to get, and you're able to take the stuff that you need and finance it over time. So it gives you a huge benefit. Banks and lenders trust business credit reports, which means high limit credit gets more high limit credit. Bottom line, again, I say this all the time, that if you want to get a $20,000 limit credit card, then you need to start getting $10,000 limit credit cards. Then the next credit card issuer sees you have 10 and they give you 15 or 20. Then you get to 20 and the next credit card issuer gives you 30 and 50. That's how the system works. So we've got to be able to come in and build business credit to get high limit accounts that then lead to even higher limit accounts for us as well. What's the result? This is an example of what happens when you do this. I'm going to actually read this here from Herman Dulce. So Herman, quote, with Credit Suite, your one-on-one consultant calls you within 24 hours of signing up. They call you at least 5 times a week in the first 2 weeks. And then after, even though it's been several years I've been with them, my one-on-one consultant still calls me every other Wednesday without fail. And that's absolutely incredible. My favorite line of credit I got using Credit Suite's a $10,000 Amazon card I used to purchase things low and sell high on different marketplaces. I was also able to get a $40,000 Amex business card. None of my accounts show up on my personal credit report. So if I max them out, it doesn't hurt me personally. So I was able to purchase 2 properties in Cleveland, Ohio, and it's been a blessing. The reason I read you this is what we do as entrepreneurs. Herman's running multiple businesses. He's using some of his business credit to go buy stuff low and sell it high. He's also able to come in and get a no limit or even a $40,000 Amex card, then use that to buy and flip properties, of which properties, I just met with a guy that's a buddy of mine that's in real estate. He says everything has come to a halt right now with interest rates shooting up. So again, there's going to be some great opportunities to buy. You just got to be positioned and have access to the capital to do so. When you do, just like Herman here, you're able to tap in and start using that credit to even be able to grow and fund multiple businesses. Okay. And yes, Janal, you can get a replay if you're around the whole time. If not, just email us at info@creditsuite.com and we will be able to get you an actual playback. Hauling and asphalt paving. We've got a lot of people in here from a lot of different industries. So thanks everybody for coming in and saying hello. If you have questions, I'm going to get to them, but I will wait to the end just because we have so many people here. I want to make sure I get to the content first. So when we look at good business credit scores, we see people like this getting $3,500, $7,500 credit lines. That's a $1,200 credit card there. That's a $10,000 limit account there. 1,000, 3,000. These are starter vendors. I'm going to get into that today. $1,500 account here. Here's a $10,000 limit account as well. So you're getting an idea. Here's a Chase Inc. account, 0% interest. A Valero account, which I don't, with no personal guarantee, I don't see the approval amount. Multiple accounts here with no personal guarantee. So again, you get the idea. This is what's possible with business credit is we start accumulating all these different types of credit that we can use to fund the business. And we've got everybody here from consulting businesses. We've got consumer credit businesses. We've got transportation. We've got real estate. We've got healthcare businesses. So there's a lot of different types of credit that you're then able to use to be able to fund your business when you're able to tap into this formula. So what is the formula? Well, the first step is you got to build a fundable foundation. We call this fundability. It's what makes the business stand on its own. It's properly established and set up. Look, a lot of us screw up the setup of our business. We skip past X. We're so excited to start trying to get out there and make money. But this is what lenders look at the most, especially in the beginning. They want to make sure your business is set up where it's credible, that it's established and set up the right way. This is what makes you ready and able to be able to handle credit and financing, and your business is separated from you personally. If you don't build the fundability foundation, the problem is the business can never be seen as a standalone entity. It's seen as an extension of you. And this is what a sole proprietor is. You are the business. So the problem there is that lenders look at you and the business as one and the same. And then you want to come in and get money for your business. You want your business to fund itself. You want to get away from guarantees. You can't. You are the business. So we've got to separate you and the business. And that is done by creating a fundable foundation for the business where it can actually come in and stand on its own. Now, what is fundability? Well, ultimately, it's your ability to get money. It's your ability to get funding from the system, from alternative lenders, from investors, from banks. It's what gets you higher loan amounts. It's what gets you better rates and terms. And it's critical for business credit approvals. So fundability foundation is the first step. Look, how your business is set up is what gets you in a high risk or low risk category. And the problem with that is that if you're in a high risk category because you don't have established business credit, and I'll show you today how you will be seen as high risk even if you have no credit. And when that happens, you don't get approved, you get denied. And even if you do get approved, you get approved for less money and higher interest rates, worse terms than what you should be. So how do we prevent this? Well, we create the fundability the lender wants to see. We create and give ourselves the credibility that lenders and credit issuers want to see. And we do that through building a fundable foundation. That's what we've got to do from the start. Now, you can be approved with vendors even with no business credit history. I'll show you today how to do this, but you can't do it without building your fundability. Fundability is what strengthens your application for credit with all credit issuers. It's giving you more access to business credit and lending. It's the key. It's like going from not having a consumer credit report or a 400 and 500 score to going to a credit report with an 850 credit score. The difference between those two is significant when it comes to your ability to get money. And that is exactly what business credit will do. It gives you more access to business credit lending by building the fundable foundation that gives you the business credit basis, the basic business credit foundation that you need to build off of to get all types of other credit financing. Now, here's another example of how this works. So from Kylan, quote, I believe the Business Finance Suite's the best step-by-step paint-by-number system to securing anywhere from 50 to 250,000 in business credit that reports on your business credit report and helps you separate personal and business credit. Now, what I like most is you have access to actual coaches that will take you by the hand and walk you through the answer system and answer specific questions that you have related to your business. It's just an amazing opportunity for small business owners. So here's the deal. I want to show you Kylan because Kylan was a gym teacher. He didn't want to be a gym teacher anymore. I think it would be cool being a gym teacher. Like my upper body would be so stacked because I do that rope thing every day. Kylan didn't like it though. So he went out and built a 7-figure business offering financing and business credit and used business credit to be able to fund the whole thing. So if you're in that place now where you're in a job or doing something you don't like, or you want to grow faster, then Kylan's a perfect example of what can happen when you're able to tap into significant amounts of income to be able to make that happen. And here, again, is a look at some more of these approvals. American Express, here's a BP card. Here we look at a jump from 8 to 16,000 at the Sam's Club card. J.C. Penney for $4,000. Sam's Club at $3,000. Here's a FedEx approval. Here we're talking about an additional credit bump of $5,000, and now they're up to $10,000 with Amazon. Here's a $20,000 approval. Here's another one from looks like Axel for I'm not sure, it's a net one for like $1,000 I think a week, or $800 a week. $1,000 approval here. Here's another $10,000 approval. Bank of America, you get the idea. The reality is you can go to my website or you can go to creditsuite.com and find that we have hundreds of actual approvals for you to look at to see what's possible. But you can't get it unless you get this right. So how do you build the right fundability foundation? Well, you got to set up a business entity. Preferably a corporation or an LLC. It doesn't matter if you're an S Corp or a C Corp. You need to have a physical address. You cannot use P.O. boxes. You can use a virtual office through places like Regis, Alliance, or DaVinci, but you cannot use a P.O. box, an iPostal type of address. You want to have a phone number for your business, and you got to make sure it's a business line. It needs to be toll-free. It needs to be listed with 411. If you don't do those, the business phone number itself is not set up as credible. The EIN, you need to get EIN as well, and you need to have a social media presence. Look, when I launch a new business, there are basic things I do that a lot of business owners don't. I get set up on Yelp. I set up my Google My Business listing. I set up a Facebook page as well. And I start listing my business with online directories. But in order to do that and give yourself a presence online, you got to make sure that all of this stuff is congruent. If it's all different everywhere, lenders can't even match your application with your business they find online because it's incongruent. So everything here has to be congruent. If it's not, it's the number one reason that business owners get denied is because what they put on an application for funding and credit isn't congruent with what the lender's actually accessing online. And if you think about this, it happens all the time because we go in and set up our Secretary of State entity, then we get our address, then we get our phone number, then we get our email, and we never remember to go back and update this information. So we've got to make sure that not only do we have this, but all this information is congruent. And thanks for coming in. Melting Away Transport. Hello from Atlanta. Steve Rivas in the house. What's up? And again, we got Dallas, Texas in the house, and a lot of other people, lawn care even in here. The Fundability is under Credit Suite program. Yes, this is part of what we do to help 50,000 business owners. Look, I'm going to walk you through today the exact process that we use to help clients, but I'm excluding the funding piece because it's not the point of what we're going over today, meaning the lending piece, loans and credit lines. I could go on for hours that piece, but we always start with Fundability foundation because this is what is essential to getting any kind of lending or being able to get business credit. You need to have a professional website and email address set up. You need to have business license set up. You need to have a separate account for your business, for your bank. Okay, so I talk to a lot of people that still blows me away. Okay, a buddy of mine's a personal trainer. and he's trying to get money. And I said, great. Well, you make good money so far with what you're doing. It's all run through a business bank account, right? He said, no. I'm like, are you crazy? What is wrong with you? Like, you know how much money you could get right now today if you just would be running your client's money through a business bank account? Super simple, super easy to do. If you're not doing that, you're going to miss out on a lot of access to money. Set up a merchant account to accept credit cards. These are the basics of a fundability foundation that lenders and credit issuers want to see. So next, you got to get set up with the reporting agencies. You got to get set up with at least DMB, Equifax, Experian. If you don't give the bureaus your information, they won't get it right. You got to give the bureaus your info. You got to take the steps to get set up with each of the reporting agencies. You want to make sure that they know the information is correct from the beginning. One of the common examples of this is them not understanding what industry you're in. I don't know if you can relate to this, but you set up your entity, you go to set up your bank account, and the banker says, what industry are you in? And you say something basic here, like transportation. I see a lot of transportation here. So you say transportation, and then you're letting them choose your NAICS code. Here, I'll show you exactly what I mean. And this is going to be shocking to a lot of you. So if I go right here to NAICS.com, and I come and let me just see if I can actually find an NAICS code search. Let's look. Okay, I don't even know. This is actually, okay, so let's go to transportation here. If I go to transportation, look at all the subcategories of transportation. There's about 100. I counted once on a live webinar and I got to 90 and I just stopped counting because I think the point was received and I didn't feel like continuing to go on. If you say you're in the transportation industry, you're expecting somebody else to guess which one of these 100 you're really in. And this is the problem. So the problem is that when we go and tell our banker we're in transportation, they don't know which of the 100 we're in, so they guess. Then the credit bureaus get the info. Then other banks get the info. And before we know it, everybody's assessing us as being high risk because they say we're in an industry we're not, and it's our fault. We got to get that right. We got to make sure when we go to the bank, when we go to the bureaus, when we go to the IRS, when we get our EIN, that we know the industry that we're in. We need to know our exact NAICS code, for example. If we don't, the problem is that the bureaus and many others will get the information wrong, assess us as higher risk than we actually are. Okay, so let me give you an example of where this can go wrong. So here, for example, is a client of ours, Dr. Brandon. Now, I'm not going to read all this to you, but I'll just give you an idea of what he faced. Bad credit, $417,000 tax lien from the IRS, closing down his practice, tried to get money, couldn't get money, came to us. We built his business credit, okay, and in doing so, gave him a fundability foundation and fixed the fundability items, a lot of which I mentioned were wrong. In doing so, we got him the $417 to pay off the tax lien, kept going, got him over $1.5 million. He didn't shut down his business. He expanded and opened a second location. And on top of that, he also ran for public office as well. So complete night and day difference between shutting down your door because the IRS is after you, finding the underlying problem of fundability, fixing it, building business credit, accessing all different kinds of lending as a result of that. And then all of a sudden you're at $1.5 million plus in money, IRS lien paid off, business expanded, and you even got time to be able to do things that you want to do, like in his case, run for public office. It makes all the difference. So let's talk about business credit building. Once you've got this right, this is step one. Once you've got the fundability foundation established, your fundability is established, the foundation is there. Next, we got to start building business credit. But I got a question for you. Why would we even want to? Okay. Why would we even want to come in, and why would we even want to actually build business credit? And again, a lot of you actually have questions here, and I will make sure that I actually get your questions answered at the end. So I know, like Jay Mendoza, you had some questions here in the chat. I will make sure everybody's questions are answered. I'm going to get to the end before I actually get those questions answered because it's too hard to answer them all in real time. Okay, so why is business credit awesome? Well, no time in business requirement, so even a startup can get it. Okay, limits are 10 to 100 times higher than consumer credit or what you'd actually see with SBA. Okay, you can get approved even when you can't get a loan or other financing, because other financing requires things like time in business, personal credit score requirements, collateral requirements. You don't have any of that with business credit. And you can also get a lot of business credit without a personal guarantee. And there's others you can get only with a guarantee. But by getting the credit without a guarantee, you're strategically placing yourself perfectly to only use your guarantee when you need to. And basically, you have the resources that you need to be able to not just run your business, but actually grow it. Plus, you can get business credit as long as you have a business in the United States, even if you're a nonprofit. You can get it for all different types of businesses, including high-risk industries. You can get business credit even as a nonprofit as long as you are incorporated, and you don't even have to buy trade lines or shelf corporations either. All of this you can do by following the training, and I'm even going to give you a quick start way to be able to shortcut this process tremendously as we wrap up today. So business credit quality determines if you're going to get approved for a business loan, how much you'll get approved for, and the terms you're going to pay. So if you want to get approved for business lending at the best terms, you got to build your business credit. If you don't, then you're going to have problems. So I'll show you what this looks like. We'll look at some actual business credit reports. First of all, you need to know that you will be issued a failing business credit score just because you have no business credit established. Experian and Equifax will give you failing business credit scores because you have no credit. Here's an example of this. The person has all zeros across the board. They don't even have business credit established. And you can see here that they're a 6 financial stability risk score, only being recommended for $1,000 in credit. Their Intellis score is pretty low here as well. When it comes to what does this mean and what are we looking at risk-wise, here's high risk, here's low risk. This person is about a higher risk as they can get because of lack of active trade line or credit report. By the way, what does this score mean? Let's see what Experian says. This score predicts the likelihood of financial stability risk within the next 12 months. This score uses trade line collection information, public filings, as well as other variables to predict future risk. Higher scores indicate lower risk. The financial stability risk score literally depicts your risk of shutting your doors, ceasing operations, going out of business. That's literally what we're talking about here. So again, you're about a higher risk as you can get at going out of business just because you have zero credit. This is how important business credit is. It's the way lenders, credit issuers, and the credit bureaus see it. And I can tell you, I deal with a lot of people that have that problem. They come in with $1, $3, $5, $10 million businesses. They don't have business credit. They go to get a credit line and loan. They get denied because their business credit's bad. We pull their business credit. This is what we see. Nothing's there, and they're shocked. You have to be very intentional with building business credit. But here's the great news. If you come in and even add one account to your business credit report, like this one, and I'll tell you which account this is. Right here, a person added one account, and they went from about a higher risk as you can get to about a lower risk as you can get. Look how low risk they are now. And you can even see they were high risk, then they went to low risk. You can even see the jump in their risk because they added one account to their business credit reports. So all you have to do is add one account to your business credit reports to start being on your way to building positive credit, except D&B. D&B wants 3 accounts on your business credit reports in order to even establish a credit profile and a credit score for you. Now, as you continue to grow this credit, the reporting agencies recommend you for more and more and more money, and that's what helps you get higher approvals. Look, you might not even have realized that your credit card limit, your credit line limit, your loan amount that you're given in large part is driven by business credit. I'll show you exactly what I mean here. Remember that first one I showed you? They only got recommended for $1,000. They had no credit. Then I showed you somebody that added one account. Now look, they're up to $2,500 recommendation from Experian. And by the way, I want to point something very important out to you. This is an Experian credit report. This is the top of the report. This box is the 3 points of data that Experian feels is the most important for lenders and credit issuers. And this is also the information lenders and credit issuers feel is the most important. If we look at this box, we see Intellis score. This is basically how you pay your bills. You pay them on time, you pay them late, etc. That's what accounts for most of Intellis score. Financial stability risk score, that's the risk score that depicts your risk of going bankrupt, shutting your doors, closing them, going out, ceasing operations. And credit limit recommendation of $2,500. So we also see that how much money you should be issued is a factor here as well. So again, what we're seeing is that the limit continues to rise when we add more accounts to business credit reports. Now look at this person. They got 2 accounts of their business credit reports. They're now being recommended for $7,000 in funding. This person is being recommended for $16,000 in funding, and they've got 3 accounts on their business credit reports. This person is recommended for $65,000, and they've got 1, 2, 3, 4 accounts on their business credit reports. This person, wouldn't we like to be them? They're being recommended for $724,000. Their scores are about as high as you can get, and they've got like 10, 12 accounts of their business credit reports. What we found here, what I'm giving you is an insider tip that overnight gurus don't know because they're not helping enough clients get these results to be able to teach you. And that is, the more accounts you add to business credit reports, the higher the recommendation of credit becomes. And that is how you get high limit loans, credit lines, and credit cards. It's the key to everything. And I'm about to give you the exact formula to be able to get this kind of results. But before we do, let me actually give you another case study to show this stuff in real action. So here's a buddy of mine, Samnath, and here's exactly what Sam has to say. Quote, "My business is Dragon Gym, a martial arts studio that was founded in 1973 by my instructor, Diego, and took over my partner and I 10 years ago. About a year and a half ago, we decided that within 18 months, we're going to open our second location. We got connected with Credit Suite. We were able to accelerate our timeline and open this location in 6 months instead of 18. Getting the financing meant that we could start fulfilling our dream of having 10 or more locations across the country." So I'll give you an example. Sam used business credit and even some programs like Credit Line Hybrid that I'll teach you how to access later. And he was able to not only open his second location in 6 months, but his third location in that 18 months. He wanted to double his size and open one location in 18. He used what I'm teaching you today to open 2 locations in 18 months. And currently, him and his partner, Lonnie, are looking at 3 to 5 additional locations. And they made it through COVID by creating an online curriculum as well, all using business credit and the kind of financing I'm talking to you about today. So here's somebody that goes from one location. And think about it. This one location had been open since 1973. 1973, that's what? That's a long time. That's like 50 years. 50 years. Here we are. 48 of those years, there's one location. These guys come in, use business credit, and what I'm teaching you today to boom, in 18 months, open 2 more locations, tripling the size of it. And now they're looking at another 3 to 5 locations using this kind of business credit to be able to do it. So it just gives you an idea of the potential if you're looking in transportation to add another truck on the road, or you're looking to come in and do the kind of things that you need to do to expand your business. So is this even going to work for you? Well, business credit's the only financial solution you can get regardless of cash flow, credit, or collateral. That means that any business can obtain it as long as you have a business in the United States. So we can see here what this looks like. Here's Facebook. We're all familiar. 40 trade lines on their business credit report. Here's Dell, 83 trades. Here's Microsoft, 131. Apple with 138. Okay, Pilot Flying J, 153. Publix here in my backyard in Lakeland, Florida, 171 accounts. Then we see Walmart, 513. So let me teach you some interesting things here. First of all, the reason that Apple has so much business credit is that they're using and mastering OPM. They are taking on debt to pay for all the stuff they can use debt to pay for. Then they keep their cash in the bank to buy things that they can't use debt for. So, for example, they're using cash in the bank to create new retail locations, cash in the bank for R&D to design things like iPads and iPhones and everything that they're coming out with on a regular basis. So that's it. They're using OPM and they're doing it masterfully. And this is what I need you to be able to do as well. If you can use other people's money masterfully, like Walmart, like Apple is, then you have the possibility of being significantly successful, 7, 8, 9-figure business, but they don't get this big. None of them do without using OPM. Every one of these is the largest publicly and privately owned companies that exist. The reason that I show you Publix, which you might not know, is Publix is one of the largest privately owned companies in the United States. And how are they doing it? Look what they're doing. They're buying their groceries using business credit. They put them on the store. Then they use your money to pay it off. You know who does this the best? Better than everybody is these guys, Walmart. If you read Sam Walton's book, he'll tell you that back in the 70s, he was sitting in a back room waiting for somebody to go pull his DMB credit report to give him enough credit to be able to buy the stuff to put in his stores. He's used business credit to be able to create thousands, I think 10,000 locations of Walmart across the world now. They're the number one retailer, and they are experts at using business credit. How much? To the point where they use 80% of what they actually put on their shelves, they're using business credit to buy. They use their business credit. They buy the stuff. They put it on their shelves. You go in, you buy the stuff. You give Walmart money. They use your money to pay off the credit they used to buy it. And they use the rest of their cash to create and expand. That's what they're doing. They're using their cash to create new locations and expand, and they're using business credit to stock their shelves. It's masterful use of OPM, and this is exactly how the largest companies become the largest companies. But here's where it gets interesting. Mars Incorporated, they sell Mars bars. They sell chocolate bars. 22 trade lines. But look at this. Here's a credit repair company that's got a third as many trade lines as Mars Incorporated has, and this is months into starting to build business credit. Here's a tax solutions business, okay, that's also one of our clients that has 70% as many trade lines as Walmart or as Mars Incorporated does, and they've done it in the course of less than a year. They actually did this in a matter of months. So what we're finding here is that the largest publicly and privately owned companies in the world use business credit. Okay, and they're using business credit to be able to become as big as they are. And also, even the smallest startup businesses are able to tap into the exact same formula the big boys are and able to also come in and grow and scale their business credit very quickly. So not only is it how the big companies get big, but it's also something that you're able to quickly do as well. By the way, if you're just coming in, give me a shout out. Tell me what industry you're coming in from. I like to speak specifically to you and talk a little bit about what you're able to do in your industry. So if you don't mind, make sure that you come in and give me a chat or give me a shout out. Tell me where you're coming in from. And a lot of you have questions. I am going to stick around and I am going to make sure that I answer questions. But again, we've got so much to cover. I want to get to that first. Then anybody that has questions, I'll make sure all of your stuff is answered at the end. Okay, so how do you do this from the ground up? Well, we start with what are called starter vendors. And then we access credit lines of vendors that we use to run the business. Not many of these actually report. It's expensive and super tedious to even be able to report. So let's talk about this. We start building business credit with what are called starter vendors. Okay, they're the ones that will give us lines of credit to buy their products and services, and they report that credit to the business credit reporting agencies. Now, here's the kicker. There's probably less than 100 of these guys that even exist in the country. And a lot of people ask me why. And the reason is it's expensive, it's not easy or cheap to report to the reporting agencies, and it's super tedious. They need updated reports in real time. It requires expert accounting to even be able to give the bureaus what they need to typically report. It's why there's so few of these vendors that are out there that are starter vendors. Okay, it's about proving your financial stability. It's not just to increase a number. You got to remember that about business credit. We're not coming in to get a good score. Everybody tells me I have an 80 paydex score. Nobody cares. What they care about is that you have a history of paying bills as agreed, not with 1-2 accounts, but with a lot of accounts. That's what proves that your business is financially stable and gets lenders and credit issuers to want to give you money. And let me teach you, that's what I've learned about running a business. I'm here today because I'm really passionate about helping business owners succeed here. If I would have had business credit, I wouldn't have lost everything in the mortgage crisis like I did. But I didn't know because nobody was teaching. So now I'm here to fix that problem and teach so you know exactly how to succeed. But what I've learned, and even though that's my mission, what I've learned in running a business is this. People need to stop selling people and you need to start helping people. If you are somebody that offers help and support and you provide value and you teach and you educate and you don't even expect money in return, then people want to do business with you and you stop chasing them. That's exactly how I look at business credit. Business credit is the matter of you're trying to chase lenders. You're chasing credit issuers to get the money you need. But when you prove your financial stability, they're sending you offers. They're chasing you. And I have testimonials where people are like, we get like 3 to 5 offers every single week in the mail. Yeah, that's what happens. Because once your business credit reports reach levels, then lenders and credit issuers start sending you offers. They start chasing you, wanting to give you money instead of you chasing them. That's what we've got to accomplish by building business credit. Lenders love to see a verified third-party payment history, so choose vendors that will actually use for the best results and that report the accounts to your business credit reports, and you got to never stop building business credit. We're going to talk about that as well. So when we talk about starter vendor credit, it helps you quickly build your business credit score. Okay, these starter vendors work with almost every business, nonprofit, startups, and they oftentimes report to the business credit reporting agencies in 1 or 2 months. They're hard to find, though. Like I said, there's less than 100 of these guys that even exist in the country because it's tedious and it's expensive to be able to report to the reporting agencies. But this is a way. I'm going to give you a shortcut in minutes, but this is a great way to build business credit. It's not based on our personal credit. Anybody can access starter vendors. They report their credit to the business credit reporting agencies. They give us a foundation. They give us a score to build off of and be able to get even more credit. And vendor credit works for almost everybody. They don't do credit checks. There's no guarantee. They don't even ask for your social security number in a lot of cases. So almost anybody can get it without collateral, no matter how bad your credit may be, without having any cash flow. Even if you're a nonprofit, high-risk industry, none of that matters. You're still able to use this to be able to get initial accounts on your business credit reports. Now, a lot of them offer net 30 terms, which means you have 30 days to pay whatever you borrow from them back in full. And the more you use it, the better it helps your credit. Okay. So what I mean by that is that your credit reports will show the recent amount of credit that you've actually used. If you're not using your credit, lenders see that and they don't want to give you more credit. But when they see somebody's got credit and they're using it, then they're like, yeah, I want to give you that. I don't know how you are, but if you've ever applied for a credit card increase and you're using that credit card and you're paying the bill, then you're going to get that increase. But if you got a credit card you ever try to get an increase for that you don't use, then the problem is it's very difficult to get that increase because you're not using the credit card. It's the same thing here. Lenders and credit issuers want to give money to people that are going to use the money so they can charge interest. That's how they make money. So again, if you've got credit, you're not using it, nobody else is going to want to give you credit. But if they see you are using it, they are going to want to give you more credit. So vendor credit, you've got to have that fundability foundation set up. We talked about that. But you will not need collateral, good personal credit, or cash flow in order to get approved. Now, first, only apply for vendors who report to the reporting agencies. And again, if you don't know how to find them, we have the largest of reporting vendor accounts that exist anywhere in the industry. And we'll talk a little bit about that in the minutes to come. And we know which credit reporting agencies they report to. So if you're stuck on that, keep in mind, we can help you. Right? We have the largest database of vendors, including starter vendors. We show you where they report, their underwriting guidelines, exactly what order to apply to get approved, even the backlinks to their secret approval, like link to go to and apply. Okay. Or sometimes you want to apply by fax, you want to apply by phone. We give you all of that to help you succeed if you're stuck there. And we keep you up to date on qualifications of all vendors monthly. Look, I'm going to tell you something I haven't even really mentioned, and it's one of the biggest things that we're working on right now here at Credit Suite. Okay, first of all, we've got a data team that goes out, and the entire data team just goes and gets sources that report to the reporting agencies. And right now, we're working with a massive data company that's actually going to get every account that reports to the bureaus to make it accessible for our clients, not just business credit cards, loans, lines of credit, business credit cards. That's the kind of stuff that we work on here at Credit Suite to give you access to the largest database that you're going to have of sources, underwriting guidelines, everything they need to know that's up to date. Why do you need up to date? Because a lot of stuff changes daily. People ask me, why don't you publish a vendor list? I'm like, because it changes daily. You should see my email. I have to create a secondary email box for all of our changed accounts to go into. Because every day, one account moves from tier 1 to tier 4, one from tier 4 to tier 1, one drops off, they no longer report. Okay, so this changes all the time, and you got to have the most up-to-date information. One of the biggest changes that we broke, nobody else reported on this, I don't think anybody else has even reported on it since, is that WEX, one of the biggest underwriters of fleet credit cards, stopped issuing no personal guarantee and credit check cards. And we're the first ones to announce that. Now, we're not concerned, because we have a bunch of other fuel cards and gas cards that our clients use. But those overnight gurus get a little freaked out because they relied on those 37 accounts from WEX to be able to help their clients. We don't need those. We don't care. We've got plenty of other accounts that are fuel cards that help our transportation clients, which is a large industry that we serve, build business credit. But it's all because you got to keep up to date with that information. If not, you're applying for accounts that no longer report. You think you're building business credit and they don't even report to a reporting agency. You think that you're going to have an account in your business credit reports and they switch to every 90 days they report, not every month. It creates all kinds of problems and creates delays. And once your accounts report, you can start qualifying for even more credit. All you have to do is continue to pay those bills on time or early. The more credit you use, the more you get approved for, and it opens up opportunities for even more. It's just this compounding effect. It's just like consumer credit. You started with nothing, you got a secure credit card, then you got more credit cards, and you got an auto loan, a mortgage, etc. Right? So when everybody follows a different trajectory. My dad co-signed for a truck loan for me when I was in the Air Force, so I had very good credit. very quick because like when I was in basic training, part of my check was paying a truck loan. So when I got out of basic training, could even drive the truck, I already had an excellent credit established. So again, everybody goes through a different trajectory, but it's the same thing, right? You're coming in and starting with no credit. You continue to build the credit. And as you build more and more credit becomes available to you. Now, you got to check out the business credits available. Here's a lot of different types of credit that's going to open up to you. Retail credit, cash management cards, fuel cards, fleet credit, office supplies, tools, construction, vehicle purchase. All of this is available, a lot of which without a personal guarantee or credit check. So if we look at number one here, we look at retail credit. This is credited at almost every major retailer. From Sam's Club and Costco to Office Depot to Staples to Home Depot and Lowe's to, heck, Macy's and Nordstrom offer corporate credit cards without personal guarantees and credit check. Then we move down here to cash management cards. These are cards like Brex that allow you to actually manage cash flow while also building your business credit, manage expenses, give out cards to authorize users to your employees. A lot of benefits to help you manage cash, but also build business credit at the same time. Fuel cards. These are fleet cards. They're to fuel vehicles, repair vehicles, maintain vehicles. So if you're in the transportation industry, this is like gold. Ultimately, fleet credit, another kind of form of fuel cards that are used for fleet maintenance. Office supplies. Okay, these are used for just what it sounds like. Every kind of office supply, furniture that you need to house an office, tools and construction supplies, vehicle purchases. Toyota, GM, Ford, Ally Bank, they all offer business credit for auto financing where you don't need a guarantee or credit check. We helped one of our clients get approved for $185,000 at Ford. You should see the truck she bought. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. It's awesome. It's so beautiful. I don't usually call trucks beautiful. The thing was beautiful. Okay, $185,000 approved at Ford without a guarantee or credit check. And business credit cards. These are Visa cards, MasterCard type of credit. Now, retail credit comes from major retailers. You can buy everything from office supplies to power tools. Retailers check that your business information is uniform everywhere. We talked about congruency. And they make sure that your business is properly licensed or that you're set up correctly as you should be. Okay. And qualifications vary and change. Sometimes you have a minimum time in business or minimum sales, and terms can be net or revolving. And again, fundability helps us overcome minimum time in business and annual sale requirements. I can show you a card from Home Depot that says you need $1 million in sales or 2 years time in business. And I can show you somebody that has 100,000 in sales and 4 months in business, but 16 accounts on their business credit reports, and they're still able to get that credit card. So what I'm telling you is that helping 50,000 business owners through this process, we found that the more accounts you put on your business credit report, the better your fundability is set up, your fundability foundation, the more inclined credit issuers are to give you credit, even if they do have time in business and even if they do have annual sale requirements. We've got some people in the construction industry as well. Thanks for coming in and saying hello. Lawn care, we already talked about it. Charlotte's in the house as well. Dallas, again, is in the house. A lot of people from Dallas. What steps do we complete prior to sign up? What steps do credit suite complete for us? We'll talk a little bit about that. Give me a minute to make it through this, and I will jump into that. Fleet credit, fuel, maintenance, repair of vehicles, often called gas cards. They're used for gas. They're also used for fleet as well. And fleet credit qualifications, okay? Minimum time in business in some cases. If you don't have fundability requirements done, you may be asked for a deposit or a personal guarantee. Again, fundability is very important. Knowing your NAICS, getting all that stuff set up the right way, and that's all the stuff that Credit Suite actually helps you do. And Lisa says, hey, what steps do we complete? What steps does Credit Suite complete for us? Keep in mind, building business credit is really a matter of you finding credit you want, you get the credit, you use the credit, and then you pay the bill. All that stuff is stuff nobody's going to do for you, just like consumer credit. You're the one that wants to do that. What we do with our coaches, our advisors, our tech, is we literally help you through the process by giving you a step-by-step software that we spend literally seven-figure millions of dollars to create that walks you through it all. Then we also have coaches and advisors that walk you through every step of the process on what to apply, what order to apply, fundability checks, making sure your fundability is in line, getting you access to all available loans and credit lines you actually qualify for, et cetera, et cetera. So hopefully that answers your question. And I will dive into that a little bit more as we get further on into the training. So business credit cards, they're like universal credit cards, like Visa, MasterCard. You can use them anywhere that these type of credit cards are accepted, and you also earn rewards. So when we talk about business credit cards, when we talk about cash credit cards, we talk about universal credit cards, that's what we're actually talking about. Now, again, you need about 14 accounts on your business credit reports to get this. So if we look we need about 5 accounts to start getting retail vendors. We get 5 of them. Then we move on to retail credit. We need about 8 accounts to get away from guarantees and credit checks to get fuel cards, fleet cards. We need about 14 accounts to get to auto financing and universal credit cards, Visa, MasterCards. So as you can see, everything I'm telling you is that you just have to build business credit. The more you build it, the more these tiers and types of credit and financing become available to you. Okay, now business credit also helps you run your business. Let's not forget about that. It's the best tool to get the goods and services that you need. And because most vendors don't require a guarantee, it's a way to fund your business where your business is funding itself without reliance on your personal guarantee or credit check. And you can get credit lines for almost anything that you need. If you want to grow your business with unsecured credit, well, then a program called Credit Line Hybrid is awesome. And with this program, you can get $150,000 in credit lines, no doc, okay, no time and business requirements. You can get it as a startup, no income requirements, no asset requirements. A lot of these credit lines report to the business credit reporting agencies, okay, 0% introductory rate, and all that's needed is good consumer credit. So if you have good consumer credit of a 680, 700 score or higher, or you have a credit partner, then there's a good chance you can qualify for Credit Line Hybrid. And these are real credit lines you can not only use to grow your business, but you're also able to have a lot of them report to the business credit reporting agencies. Now, you can get pre-approved usually same day or within 24 hours, get your credit lines within 3 weeks or more. A lot of them report to the business credit reporting agency. So it's an alternative to starter vendors. So I talked about building business credit, Fundability Foundation. Then we talked about starter vendors. This is an alternative there. Instead of using starter vendors, you could use Credit Line Hybrid to qualify. The difference is starter vendors require no guarantee and no credit check. Credit Line Hybrid, you are going to have personal guarantees, and it's going to be based on consumer credit quality. So if your consumer credit quality is not good, then in that case, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to use starter vendors. But if it is good, or you have a partner, a family member, friend, investor that's willing to help, you might want to try the shortcut of using Credit Line Hybrid as well. Okay, and again, that gives you lifetime access to credit lines that can increase over time. Our clients get their credit line limit increased about every 6 months. This is fully revolving credit, and you're investing your personal credit to grow your business. So you're basically using your personal credit as a guarantor to start building business credit, but then getting credit lines that you're able to then use to build your business credit report to get away from the guarantees and credit checks. Next, you got to monitor your business credit reports. If you're not monitoring your business credit reports, then you don't see everything that gets added to the reports. Remember, what I told you today is you need 5 accounts for retail credit, 14 accounts for universal credit, right? Well, you can only see that if you're looking at your business credit reports. So you've got to monitor your business credit reports. And if you see inaccuracies or negative information that shouldn't be there, you've got to dispute that information as well. If you don't dispute with the reporting agencies, then you're going to have negative business credit, and that's going to adversely affect you. So you got to make sure you're monitoring it, make sure that you're keeping an eye on your business credit and disputing any inaccuracies or information that's negative that shouldn't be there. But you just got to keep in mind, I'll show you a shortcut to get a massive discount on credit monitoring, but it can get pricey quick. It's about $250 from the bureaus. Don't worry, I'm going to show you in minutes how to get rid of that. But again, or eliminate about 90% of that cost. But again, it is pretty expensive, but it is something you have to do if you're going to build business credit. You got to monitor all 3 bureaus, D&B, Equifax, and Experian. You've got to be able to do that. Now, keep in mind, as part of the business finance suite, it's not $250 a month. It's only $24. So it's 90% discount if you're going through the credit monitoring as part of our system. But if you're doing it on your own, you need to know that it's something you got to do to build business credit, and it can get pricey. You got to dispute those errors as well. You got to look for information that's inaccurate on your business credit reports. And then you also need to make sure you dispute with each one of the reporting agencies to be able to reprove or to be able to remove that negative information. And then you just got to continue. You got to get the most out of your business credit. And that means make your payments on time or early. Okay. You got to use your accounts so they're going to have no impact on your scores. Use as much of your credit line as possible that you can reasonably pay off. Okay, your credit report's a third-party validation that you pay your bills. That's what it is. Okay, look, I talked to a lot of $1, $3, $10 million businesses that can't get credit lines and loans, and they're upset because they haven't built their business credit. Well, of course you're not going to get loans and credit lines. It doesn't matter that you do $10 million in sales. If you haven't proven to lenders that your business is responsible to pay its bills, you're not going to get money. And the bigger your business becomes, the more roadblocks you're going to run into by not having business credit established. Building business credit is what lowers the risk that where lenders and credit issuers feel safe giving you money. You also want to use your credit as much as possible. This is the key to getting your limits increased and getting new offers. So don't build business credit to build business credit. People say to me, hey, how much do I have to use this? What's the minimum I can spend on this account? You don't want to look at it that way. You want to get accounts you're really going to use to grow your business and use those accounts. I still use Quill today. Quill was one of my first starter vendors. And even though I couldn't get Staples, and I have Staples at Office Depot, I still use Quill because they were there for me when nobody else was. So you want to continue to use these credit to be able to grow your business. Okay. And you also need to keep an eye on your business credit scores. You got to pay your bills on time or early. A Paydex score of 80 means you pay your bills on time. It's good. Equifax score of 90. FICO scores, SBSS needed for small business loans, all based on payment history. Experian, 5 to 10% of your scores based on payment history. But if you look at collections and all the stuff that really equates to payment history, it's nearly 85% of your score with Experian's payment history. These bureaus care most about you paying your bills on time or early. It's essential to you keeping good business credit, which, by the way, I had this question come up the other day, and this was a friend of mine that said, hey, man, I don't know what to do. My scores are low. I have this negative account on my business credit report. How do I fix it? I said, first of all, you're trying to fix the wrong problem. The reason your scores are low is because you don't have a negative item on your credit report. It's because you don't have enough positive. If you had enough positive, you wouldn't be in this boat to begin with because the positive would offset the negative and you'd be fine. But you don't have positive, and that negative is killing you. So now you got two problems to solve. You got to dispute the negative. You got to build the positive. And by the way, if you would have just built the positive, you'd never be in this situation to begin with. You got to keep that in mind. By building more business credit, you offset any damage you have in the time that you're actually going to come in and you're actually going to have a negative item that could potentially hurt you. So getting some value so far? Woo! Throwing out some nuggets here, as you guys are mentioning. A lot of people are coming in and talking about great stuff as always. Love it. Awesome. So look, the idea here is that I just mapped out the basic formula for you to be able to successfully build business credit and get 100 grand in 6 months. But I'm going to give you the shortcut right now. I'm going to teach you a way to do it where it's even cheaper than doing it on your own, where you take a 3-year process and you combine it to only months. This is the process that every single one of these case studies that you've seen come up actually is following. And I'll even actually start it right here and show you when you take everything I just taught you and you tie it together, this is the result. And I'm going to point out several parts of this when it's done because I want to revert back to what you've learned so you can see how it actually works. And I want to talk about somebody that uses this to build a multiple 7-figure business and finds a really unique niche who's absolutely crushing it. So let's dive in. So Josh Elledge here from Orlando, Florida. Quote, one thing that's beautiful about Credit Suite is that you start with baby steps. The first thing that we did is get a couple of revolving credit lines and store credit. Then we graduated to gas cards. Then we ended up getting a very nice line of credit at Amazon. Then we worked our way up to getting a very, very nice SBA loan. Thanks to Credit Suite, we were able to really get our business finances in order from a, quote, what looks good, unquote, to potential lenders and potential creditors, and we became very attractive to lenders. The best options are always available to those who have their credit game locked down, and that's what Credit Suite platform allows you to do. We've been able to make smart investments in staffing, marketing systems, sales systems, product development, all these things for Credit Suite we really couldn't do. I just don't have to stress out as much because we've got money in the bank to take advantage of opportunities. I'm not as stressed anymore. I can keep a bank account that's plenty of cushion in there. And that cushion, honestly, it makes me a better dad. It makes me a better husband because I'm not stressing out. This means a lot to me. And literally, when I say that, the hair on my arm stands out, and here's why. Being an entrepreneur makes it really hard to be a really good parent. And it's so weird that when Josh says this, I always almost tear up because it's a hard thing. Like, I've run businesses where we had no money, and I've been in businesses where we have a cushion of cash. And it does really help me be a better friend, a better partner, a better parent when I have peace of mind and not worry about it all the time. I could be present with my family. I could be present with the kids. I'm not stressed out about making payroll. It's a whole different world when you live having access to money versus when you don't. Walking back through what Josh says here, they started with baby steps. He got store credit, right? He graduated to gas cards, just like I taught you. They got a very nice line of credit at Amazon. Then they got their fundability enlightened. And as he said, what looks good to potential lenders, they got that done. Then they got a very nice SBA loan. Why? Because the best options, as Josh says, are always available to those who had their credit game locked down. And that's what the Credit Suite platform allows you to do. Then he got his money. He went in from a PR business. He was the PR guy. He helped you get like press releases and stuff like that done. He started doing stuff on LinkedIn, and he found a hole in LinkedIn, a niche, the ability to be able to mass generate leads for any industry in LinkedIn. And so he took the money and he invested in what he's saying here: smart investments in staffing, marketing systems, sales systems, product development. And he built out a whole new model for his business where they now build these elaborate lead generation systems for companies. It took off. It took off big time. And he built the business to multiple seven figures faster than I personally have had anybody that I've really known do it, all because he had access to the capital to be able to do it. So it makes me ask you, what could you do if you had access to the money to do it? We all have the vision, but the money is what's needed for us to build the systems and the marketing systems and the staffing and everything that even Josh mentions here that's crucial to being able to succeed. So as you've learned today, you can get money regardless of personal credit. I mapped it out for you. You can get it without collateral. Everything I showed you today is unsecured and doesn't require. You can get it as a startup. I talked about all this credit available today, every bit of it. You can get as a brand new business, and you can do it no doc with no income verification. And I don't care if you've been turned down. As a matter of fact, my biggest success stories here at Credit Suite, 100% of them have come from to us, been turned down other places, or worked with multiple companies to try to build their business credit and failed. So a lot of the people that walk in our door were failing before, and we just came in with the expertise of helping 50,000 business owners to help them succeed, because you can get business credit, as you've now seen. So look, you're watching this because you want the easiest and fastest way to get money to grow your credit and get money and to grow your business. And you probably have already struggled to get the money and credit you need and have not found a simple solution or team to help you do it. Well, look, you need to be able to get the money you need when you need it. And there are a lot of factors that can hold you back from getting lending, from getting credit. And this is why years ago, we created a system called the Business Finance Suite, which helps you with every single aspect of what I talked about today. Okay, it helps you build all aspects of fundability, not just the fundability foundation. Today, I covered fundability foundation, one of 5 aspects. The Business Finance Suite helps you with all 5. And that way we can get you the most money at the best terms. We're not interested in just getting you approved. That's rookie level. Anybody can help you get approved for a credit card. Okay, we're here to help you get the most money at the best terms. I'm not happy with a $5,000 Amex. I need a no limit Amex. That's what I need for you. I don't need a $5,000 fuel card. That ain't going to help you when it's $1,000 to fill up a big rig truck and you want to create a fleet of them, right? We need to get you $30,000 limit accounts. So we need to get you the most money, but money doesn't matter if you're paying 50% interest, 30%, 20% interest. So we got to get you the most money at the best terms. And that's what our system is set up to do, is to do just that. Get you approved for the most money at the best terms, not only give you access to Fundability Foundation and business credit building, but also tie in all lending options in one place for you as well. So it helps you improve your fundability, build your business credit, and access all loans and credit lines in one place. Look, I haven't even talked about that, but that is the problem. I started today talking about the cash access problem. There's so much money available, but every source out there, over 10,000 alternative lenders, and they all offer one or two kind of programs. And if you don't qualify for those one or two, you think you're not lendable. But the reality is 9,999 other lenders probably could have helped you. In order to know that, you've got to access all loans, all credit lines, all funding options in one place. And that's exactly what the Business Finance Suite does for you. It's all in one easy-to-use software that's actually backed by coaches that help hold your hand through the entire process. Now, you may be thinking it might not work for you, but the Business Finance Suite works with every business. And with it, you can build your business credit. Now, can you do this on your own? Sure you can, if you have all the tools. But the problem is most of the instruction out there is from people that only did it for themselves or for other people that are doing it for themselves, and what works for them won't work for you. With us, it's the communal knowledge of 50,000 plus people and the thousands of new that we help every single year and every single month that we continue to help more. And that communal knowledge is what we're actually using to pass on to you, to give you the tools and the coaching to succeed. Now, do you feel like you're not ready? Well, the Financing Suite gets you ready. A lot of people come in and they're like, where do I start? Should I wait to get all my fundability foundation done? Absolutely not. We do that with you. We help you through that process. We help you set up the entity, your NAICS code. We help you through the process, setting up your website, your email, your phone number, your merchant account, your bank account from the very ground up. And if you already have that stuff done, we help you check it, get it right, so you look appealing to lenders and credit issuers. Okay, we help you meet fundability requirements before you even apply. Setting up your business name correctly, your EIN, your business address. We set up your phone number, help you set up your phone number 411. We even list it for you so you don't have to pay the money to do so. We help you set up your website, your email, your licensing, your online compliance, your bank account, your merchant account as well. Okay, plus we help you get set up with all 3 reporting agencies, and we also get you 90% discount on credit monitoring, getting your DUNS number, and help you dispute and fix inaccuracies with DEB Equifax Experian. And by the way, we also help you get your LexisNexis credit report, your check systems credit report, the secret credit reports that lenders are using to make all kinds of decisions about you. And we help you dispute with those secret bureaus too, because if you just work with DEB Equifax Experian, you're not going to get far. You got to go to the other bureaus that lenders are using behind the scenes and do the work there, and we help you through that process as well. We have the largest supply of starter vendors that report to the reporting agencies, hundreds of vetted vendors to build your business credit portfolio, and a massive selection of revolving accounts that you can get as well, a lot of which you're able to get without a personal guarantee and credit check. Even hard to find business credit cards, fleet credit, vehicle financing, all is in the Business Finance Suite. Plus, we have all the loan options you need: traditional business loans, SBA loans, largest supply of alternative lenders, cash flow financing that have no consumer credit requirements, secured financing with rates lower than 5% you can get as a startup, credit line hybrid, a program that if you look at credit line hybrid, you'll see it all comes back to us. That's our program. 0%. Now, it's not us that offers it. We've found the funding sources that offer the program to be able to get you the funding. Term loans, lines of credit as well. So if you look at this, you're getting 24/7 access to your own Business Finance Suite. Our actual advisors to coach you through the process. They will call you 5 times the first 5 days. They will stay on the phone and walk you through every aspect of fundability. Okay, they aren't just customer service you can call. You can call them, you can email them, you can message them from your system. They're preemptively calling out to coach and help you. Why do we do this? Here's why. When we just sold the Business Finance Suite without coaching, people don't do the work. So the coaches are there to help push you along to make sure you actually get the success. They're coaches to coach you through the process. We help you set up your name, your entity, your EIN, your address, your toll-free number, your 411 listing, your website, your email, your online compliance, your bank account, your merchant account, set up with DMB, Equifax, and Experian, your DUNS number set up, your business identification number, BIN with Experian. We help you dispute inaccuracies with DMB, Equifax, Experian, LexisNexis, and check systems. The largest supply of starter vendors, including exclusive sources you won't find anywhere else, because we help them get the ability to report. One just came online this week. He messaged me on Facebook, Ty, we did it. We're live. We're going through the test periods with Equifax. We're ready to get added to your system as soon as the test is done. We help people get the ability to report. Then we put them in our system, and you won't even find them out in the world because we're the ones that help them get the ability to report. It's why they're exclusive sources. Massive selection of retail credit, almost every major retailer, fleet credit. You're able to tap into stuff like Apple and Best Buy, and you name a retailer, they're part of our system. Cash flow financing with bad credit, 0% rates, unsecured financing, asset-based lending where you can leverage all kinds of collateral and be able to get rates of 2% or less, SBA loans, term loans, lines of credit, and by the way, finance specialists that help you with every aspect of getting a loan. When you need money, you don't have to go look online or go to your bank. You literally call your finance specialist, and the finance specialist helps you through the entire process of getting approved with over 1,000 different funding sources. And we have found that the people that get started the fast actually take action quicker, have the best results. I don't know what it is with entrepreneurs, but what we found is the ones that take action the fastest are the ones that get the best results. So we also have a fast action bonus, a business credit building $10,000 bonus bundle. It's actually over 10 grand. It's worth $10,620. If you are interested in working with us, I'm going to give to you access through Friday. So if you're getting started with us this week, I'm going to throw in an extra $10K worth of bonuses as well, starting with this. It's a 2-part Celebritize Your Brand bundle with world's #1 branding expert, Ray Perez. I ain't the one that calls him #1. The news stations do. You can easily find him online. You're actually able to go to his event. He's also going to set up a 365 networking website for you as well. The same one I use. People say, hey, can I have your business card? I'm like, I don't have a business card. I have a 360 site. Here it is. If you ever see me at events, I give you my 360 site. I do not give you my business card. Ray's the guy that created that 360 site. He's giving you that for free, as well as access to his 2-day event where you build your everything to do with your brand. Message Maximizer, best-selling author Dolores Hirschman teaches you to match your message with your actual avatar so you can advertise on places like Facebook and do it effectively with very cheap cost per lead, because again, you've got your message right for your audience. Delegate and manage like a beast. So many of us get stuck working in our business, not on it, because we don't know how to delegate. And that's exactly what best-selling author Howard Shore is going to teach you how to do, to tap into human capital and be able to have an entire course worth about $800 on delegation, so you know how to do it and start working on the business, not in it. Gino Wickman, best-selling author of 2 books, Entrepreneurial Leap and Traction. Traction, there's a system called EOS. A lot of 8-9-figure businesses run their meeting rhythms, everything based on the system this guy created. Gino's giving us 11 resources here to be able to help you grow your business, including getting your vision right, match whatever you maybe want to do with the actual business that is best suited for you, and basically a roadmap of how to start, launch a business. Accounting Secrets Blueprint, everything we need to know about accounting, but we really don't, is condensed into one course here by Pam Jordan. How to make your first $100,000 in real estate by real estate guru Derek Van Ness. Perfect timing for what's about to shift right now in the real estate market. Fundability in a flash. We're going to spend 30 to 60 minutes with you on a call to get your fundability right. D&B Equifax experience for free for 3 months. It's $750 if you went and did this through the bureaus. We're giving it to you at no cost. 90% discount on it after that, as I mentioned, for only $24 we're including, and a business builders bundle. It's got over 30 courses, guides, blueprints, tools for generating leads, branding, marketing, advertising, building sales funnels, product pricing, social media mastery, viral video marketing, and rapid business growth. Look, we're here to help you get money. It's what we do. We specialize in it. But a lot of entrepreneurs come to us and need help with running and growing a business. And that's exactly what this business builders bundle does. We went to the gurus in all these spaces. We got their courses, a lot of which are individually we're selling for thousands of bucks, and we put them into one bundle for you, so you know how to advertise, how to market, and build a sales funnel, and how to price your products and get leads online and go viral, all that stuff, so you can really grow and thrive. Multi-million-dollar valuation tool. Valuations cost thousands typically. This gives you the ability to get a 28-page valuation report where you not only see what your business is worth, you compare it to competitors and get advice on what to fix to make it worth more money. Over $10,000 in total you're able to get if you're enrolling by this Friday. Again, pretty powerful way here of being able to get well more than the little amount that it is to work with us. So let's talk about that. What is it? What's involved with working with us? Well, you're getting about $12,000 of purchase value. You're also getting over $10,000 worth of bonuses. So that's about $22,561 and everything in working with us and bonuses. If you're getting started by Friday, you can get started with only 7 payments of $597 or a big discount if you do one payment of $29.97. Now, that might be too much. So let's talk about some other options here. Okay, we help ensure payments are affordable. We will work on customized payments for you. If you can't afford the $597, we will customize a plan for you. And I'm going to give you, I'm excited about this. So we now have a credit line we can get you approved for 600, 620 type credit score. So maybe you or someone around you can help if you don't have that. But we also will help you get a credit line that you can use to not only buy, but when you buy and pay it down, you can use that credit line for other stuff. It's an actual credit line. So now Credit Suite is helping you get a credit line to actually use to enroll with us. And that credit line you're able to use outside of us as well. So we can even have that option for you. If you don't want to afford the $597, if you want to finance it not through us, but through another source, we can help you actually get a credit line to purchase as well. So a lot of different options to make sure it's affordable. Like I said, money should never be the problem, because we have ways to make it super affordable, and it's going to be way more to do this on your own. Credit monitoring, done setup, 411 listing, all the stuff you're going to spend money on outside of working with us, you're getting for free or a massive discount. So it's actually cheaper to work with us, and we literally cut years off the business credit building process. Plus, you're getting access to everything with even their first payment, our team, our tech, everything, because we're just that positive that you're going to love the result that you're able to end up getting. So you have to keep in mind, typically you have to choose between time and money. You pay more money to buy back time and have somebody else charge you money and give you a shortcut, or you're able to do it on your own and take longer time to do it. With us, you're doing both. You're cutting about 24 months off the business credit building process and able to get to the end result in 6 months versus 3 years. And you're also able to save more money than it will cost you because of all the discounts we give you and the free access that you get as well. So a lot of access that you're able to get here with your own finance suite, everything you need to know to set up your fundability, to set up with the bureaus, to dispute inaccuracies with the bureaus, to access every legitimate type of funding with your own finance specialist, as well as business credit advisors and coaches that hold your hand and walk you through the entire process. We've got all of those bonuses worth over $10,000 you're able to get through Friday as well. We're able to break it down into payments of $597. We're able to finance it for you as well. And even if you're not interested, I wanted to thank you for being able to stick around here to the end. So I'm going to give you a bonus worth over $500 right now, a playback of this, 30 days of free business credit monitoring, with DMB Equifax Experian, a no-cost fundability assessment and finance assessment to tell you all the money you could qualify for. And all you have to do to access that is give us a call. Give us a call, and we will actually give you your free finance assessment. We're $544. We'll also make sure we have your information to get you a playback of this as well. And again, if you got value from this, then make sure you like and subscribe on the social channel that you're watching so you can continue to get even more value. By the way, the $10,000 worth of bonuses, creditsuite.com/webinar. It's been at the bottom of every one of my slides. If you're interested in grabbing those, getting started, you can go there. And at the bottom of that, you can also apply for that credit line as well. So not only can you just get started with our financing or one payment with us, you can apply for that credit line right at the bottom of this page as well, creditsuite.com/webinar. I got a lot of questions to go over. I promised you I'd stick around to make sure that they're answered. So we got a little bit of ways. Just be patient with me, because I have a lot of live streams happening right now in a lot of different channels. And I also have a lot of questions that's being answered here as well. So a lot of people, or a lot of questions through chat that are taking place in the webinar as well. So a lot of you are telling me where you're coming in from, and I want to thank you all for telling me your industries from apparel to transportation. A lot of good stuff here today. A lot of good people, boutique and trucking. Hey, Pasadena, California. Thanks for coming in and saying hello as well. Okay, I'm going to get to some questions. I'm just scrolling through right now to actually get to the questions to make sure that your questions are answered. So give me a second here as I'm able to go through, and I'm actually going to go through multiple chats and do that at exactly the same time. Okay, I fixed my payment info, but can't get my report info changes on the monitoring payment. I'm not Thomas. Say that, Thomas Walsh, say that for me again. I don't exactly understand your question, but I will make sure that that question gets answered if I do have more clarity on understanding exactly what the question is. Okay. Hello, everyone from Chicago. Thanks for coming in and saying hi. Okay. Can we get a replay? Yes, we talked about that as well. If you stuck around to the end, you will get a replay of this. You can watch it on the social channel you're on if you're on the live stream. If you're part of the webinar and you registered on the webinar, then we will send you a playback of this tomorrow. If you want a playback, just send us an email. If you're watching on the live stream and you want a playback of the webinar, send us an email if you're not part of the webinar. If you're part of the webinar, we'll email it to you. If you're part of our live stream, then you're able to come in and able to access this right on the channel that you're watching on. Credit Suite's Facebook page at facebook.com/Credit Suite. You're also able to go to youtube.com/Credit Suite and watch it there. And the Fundability is under Credit Suite program. The Fundability is part of our program. Yes. They show you how to make your company work more fundable. Yes, that's the whole point. And I want to talk about that because that is the problem we found. Helping 50,000 business owners through this process, the vast majority of the reason they're getting denied is Fundability Foundation stuff. It's not credit score. It's not income. It's none of that. Once we fix that, then they're able to come in and get approved. It's why that Fundability is just so important. Can your physical address be your residential address? It can be. Yeah, and there's some credit issuers that won't lend to you then. Like Amazon will give you a credit card if you're using a home address. Walmart won't. You always look more credible if you get a virtual office. So, Nakia, my advice is look at a virtual office through a place like Regis. Depending on the city, I find that they're as cheap as $50, $65 a month. So if you're able to get a virtual office for $50 or $65 a month, it's going to give you a lot more credibility than using a home address, although you can use your home address as well. Can my LLC have a different name I use for social media and a salon? It can, but it's going to be a little problematic. Part of what lenders and credit issuers want to see is continuity. They want to see everything is consistent. So if you have one name on your application, something else somewhere else, everywhere else, then what happens is they think it's fraud because you apply. Their crawlers go to verify your social media pages, Secretary of State. They see mismatched information, and it is a large reason why we see a lot of people end up getting denied for credit financing. So things to keep in mind. How can I get it done? And Brad Street number I was trying. You can just go to creditsuite.com/DUNS. Creditsuite.com/DUNS will get you a DUNS number. Also, that's something that we help you with as part of as being a client and actually having access to the business finance suite. Okay, may I have an interview with the staff via? Yep, absolutely. Jay Mendoza, you absolutely can. Give us a call. We could even do a Zoom call with you to make sure that that works. Will we get a copy of this recording? You will. If you stuck to the end, we'll email it back to you because you're on the webinar right now. If I don't have an office, then my suggestion there is a virtual office. Like I said, if you don't have an actual office, Regis Da Vinci Alliance. And by the way, as part of our finance suite, and our coaching team can help you through that process as well. I have a virtual address. A lot of people do that. Be careful. It's not a virtual address. It's a virtual office. There's a difference. A virtual address is a place like iPostal. It's just a P.O. box. Virtual office is Alliance where it's a real physical office. Just to keep that in mind. Okay, it depends. There are a lot of companies and tiers. Mine cost. Okay, so you guys are asking answers to each other's question here. So I appreciate that as well. Okay, a lot of you tell me the industry that you're coming in from. Thank you guys very much. Recently bought my dad's 42-year-old barbershop. Man, that sounds cool. Congratulations. And I hope you take good care of that because it's hard to work on something for 42 years and build that. What steps do we complete prior to sign up? There are none. We can help you with every aspect of what we talked about today. Yes, it will be available. A lot of people asking about the playback. I've talked about that as well. Will be available. Does the list show which vendors report and which do not? And not only in our system does it show who reports and not, it shows which bureau they report to, the underwriting guidelines, everything you need to know to get approved. Then we put it in the right order or tier for you to be able to get approved. Okay, and Lisa says, anything we need already in place, such as a business bank account, you don't need anything in place. We can help walk you through every single thing you need to do. So if you have an idea for a business, you could even use our business finance suite to set up the step one fundability to set up the business initially. By the way, I've got a buddy of mine, Ryan. Ryan charges $3,000 just for our step one. And it's not for our step one. He helps people do what we do in step one. He charges $3,000 just for that. So that's part of our system. So the Fundability Foundation, we can help you with all of that. You don't even need to have the business set up. If you get started with just the beginning stage of the business, we can help you with that as well. 2 months, okay. Which credit report do they use for Credit Line Hybrid? They look at all three. If they look at TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, they can approve you for more money. But my funding source will look at that and then say, okay, TransUnion's good, Equifax, Experian is it, then they can even send you to sources if one bureau is better that only looks at one bureau. So the funding source will look at all three. Then they'll figure out, based on your stronger bureau, the actual credit lines to go get you. And they'll give you a pre-approval within 24 hours of all the funding they can get, even if you do have damage on one or two bureaus. I have fuel cards and was denied Lowe's card, very possible. And the reason for that, and I'll even pull this chat up so you guys can see this. I fuel cards was denied Lowe's cards. It very well could be. The reason you get denied with Lowe's is simply because you don't meet their criteria. It could either be a fundability issue, or it also could be that you don't have enough accounts yet to get a Lowe's credit card. If you don't have enough accounts on your business credit reports on the bureau they look at, or you don't have your fundability in line, that would account for that, just so you know that. Okay, I have tier 2 suggestions. It depends. I need tier 2 suggestions. There's a lot. In our world, a lot of your tier 2 are your retail accounts. Amazon, Staples, Office Depot, a lot of them are tier 2 if you've built your fundability the right way, and you've actually come in and you've got the ones that you need in step 1. You've got the original starter vendors, the one that you need. How long? Okay, we already know that. I'm already done, so I'm just going through questions now. How much will cost okay, we talked about that as well. What credit score is needed? You don't need any credit score for business credit accounts. No credit score is needed. They won't even look at your personal credit. To get the $150,000 credit line, you need about a 680, 700 score. You can use that or that of a guarantor as well. But if you already have several of those steps completed, give us a call. We do have, you might not even need our coaches. We have a solution where you don't even use our coaches if you've come through certain steps of the process. So give us a call. We'll work out something custom for you in that scenario. Okay. Home improvement contractor. Do you offer accessibility? Yes, we do. We can definitely help you. And even with this, our advisors can actually help you, by doing Zoom calls. So if you give us a call or send us an email, then we can actually talk to you more and set up where we can actually help you through Zoom, and our team can talk to you more about that. We don't do anything in Canada. What business credit building is very similar in the United States and Canada, but it's not the same. So you could use our system and have some success, but we really don't specialize in Canada. We're really in the United States. It says offer expired. Let me actually look at that. If you go to creditsuite.com/webinar, and if there is an issue with that, then I'll get that updated today, but I don't think so. Actually, I think you right here. If you go to creditsuite.com/webinar, it will bring you here where you're able to get those details. I don't see that financing option is added here, so I will make sure that financing option is added as well. But you can go to creditsuite.com/webinar, and that definitely is active. So Dave, let me know if you have an issue, email us, but I just looked and that I did pull that up, was able to get to open it. Link to apply for credit line, not on the webpage. I will get that added too. I don't know if they can get that added today or not, but I did notice that. So if you want to apply with the credit line, you can email or call us, but I did notice that wasn't there. I thought it was. My bad for saying it was when it wasn't, and I will get that corrected. Is 8x8 a good service to use? Yeah, 8x8 is good for phone systems. Very expensive depending on what you're using it for. Personal trainer, wanted to build a gym. Believe this will help me get the funds. Yeah, absolutely. My own personal trainer uses this to build his. He's actually expanding, and so I helped him get set up as a client, and he's actually using it to expand, doing a lot of things. Freedom Voice is good for phone. I like them too. I also like Call Rail. I have my articles of corporation, EIN, website under construction. What's my next step? I've already walked through all that. You've got to go through every aspect of fundability. There's a lot of things you're not saying that you have here. You don't have your DUNS number, your phone number, your email address, etc. We talked that. So go back through the replay, look at what I talked about with fundability, and you got to finish some more stuff with fundability, or give us a call. We can help you get set up, and our system will walk you through step-by-step this as well. Okay, 8x8, we talked about 8x8. Any experience with worksuites.com for office location? I'm not sure about WorkSuites. As long as they're a real office location, you should be fine. But again, if not, I don't know. You just want to use a real office location versus an iPostal, which is mailboxes. Hello, everyone. I'm a new customer of Credit Suite, and this business is amazing. This investment has been one of the best thus far regarding my business. Everything Atai is saying that he will help you with is definitely the truth. I would any and everyone to invest in yourself business by signing up with Credit Suite. I can't thank you enough for that, Kimberly. And by the way, you guys are seeing this in real time. I literally have the chat pulled up, and I'm just scrolling through the chat, getting to every question. So this is an impromptu testimonial, and you'll find a lot of these because, guys, if you look online, we do what we say we're going to do. It's why we have a 5-star rating at Trustpilot. It's why we have hundreds and hundreds of reviews. And Kimberly, I really appreciate that. You can see that we have a very good reputation of doing exactly what we say we're doing. Is a financing option based on business credit or personal? It depends. We've got a lot of funding, lending that's available, credit lines and loan that's based on a lot of different factors: revenue, collateral, credit. and then a lot of business credit sources that are only based on business credit quality. The difference between a business address and a virtual office, it's actually really a virtual office or a virtual address. A virtual office is a real physical location. A virtual office is just a PO box center. Okay, what documents a cosigner need? You could give us a call. We'll talk to you more about that. Depends on the cosigner, but all they really need to do is just be there, authorize the credit check for the actual funding source for credit line hybrid. And then the credit line hybrid, they'll get their application filled out. And then if everything's good, they want to go, they'll have paperwork to sign. It's a pretty simple process. Once purchased, do we receive any future updates? You're constantly updated with our team. So once you get started with us, our advisors call you 5 times the first 5 days. They constantly call and follow up regularly after that as well. And you have access to our tech and our software indefinitely to be able to build business credit, and our finance officers indefinitely as well. Okay, we talked about replay a lot, and that's the end of this chat, but I've got more coming in. What are the accounts on a person's business credit report? What are accounts? And I'm not exactly sure what this question is, Demetrius. You see what I'm saying? What are accounts on a person's business credit report? I'm not exactly sure what this means. So if you'd have to phrase that differently for me to be able to better answer that question. I'm going to jump to the live stream right now. I know a lot of you on live have questions, and I still have a question and answer section in the webinar to get to as well. So I want to make sure that I get to all of that. So I'm looking through right now. Long Island. Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming and saying hello. Good afternoon. Tavanda, I love that you're here. You're always here. You're so cool. Thanks for hanging out. How can I start a business account for the credit? That's where I'm stuck with. How can I start a business account for credit? I'm not exactly sure what that means, but what I am saying is that so hopefully what I went through today ended up answering that question. Because if not, ask that a different way. Let me answer it. But how can I start a business account for the credit? That's not exactly what I don't know if I clearly understand that, but I think I covered that today. If not, ask that in a different way and I might be able to answer it. That makes sense. I need to dispute some stuff on my business credit report. A lot of people think they have negative business credit and don't. So get business credit reports first and see what's there so you'll actually know what you do need to dispute. Just received my check systems report in the mail for my personal credit. Congratulations. I'm glad that you were able to get that, Tavanda. You're here quite a bit. So I'm glad that you're listening to the training and that you're actually going through. And don't forget, there's a whole process to dispute that too. I think you're a client. So if so, our team can help you with that as well. Cody says, if I left out on an LLC when obtaining my EIN, how do I fix it? You can go back into the Secretary of State and update your entity type is all you have to do there. I left out an L on LLC when obtaining my EIN. Go back to EIN. Or go back to IRS. So if you go I forget the name of the form off the top of my head, but if you go and just Google update EIN info, you'll find a form that you can use to submit to the IRS to do that. I just can't remember the number of the form, although I used to know that. Jeannie says, wait, I joined. Yep, you absolutely, if you just joined yesterday, you can still get the perks. Let us know. Give us a call. Talk to the person that enrolled you. We'll talk more about that. Steve says, I guess I'm in. I use all my business credit cards, have a lot of credit, but I need more. We can help you with that as well. That's exactly what we do. Is a requirement to be on social media for a company? It's not, Marcus, but you do need to know that lenders and credit issuers will look at that as credibility. We don't teach that as part of fundability, but it's not a bad idea to have social media accounts set up because, again, it just shows that you're more established. But that's not a core element of a Fundable foundation. Steve says, I'm always driving when these lives come on. So whenever you say something like Facebook.com/creditsuite.com, if you could print it, if I could take a pic and have it. Otherwise, I forget to say. Well, again, what's nice about our social media pages, they're super simple. It's just Facebook.com/credit suite, YouTube.com/credit suite. So our social media channels are just, the name of the social media channel / and our name. So just keep that in mind. The other thing to keep in mind, you don't ever need to remember any of that. Just go to creditsuite.com. At the top right of our page, you can, in one click and in less than a minute, subscribe to every one of our social media channels as well, Steve. So keep that in mind. How often should you be applying for credit? As often as you need it. Their inquiries don't affect business credit scores, so you really can get as much as often as you want. My virtual office space comes with phone numbers and live call answering during business hours for $99 a month. That's a pretty good deal. I get almost daily updates from the advisory team. I love that as well. And you can see, guys, these are just impromptu testimonials. This is, people that are telling you, a lot of them, they're even stuck with us the whole time here, that are clients that are giving you some of the feedback that they're getting there. What type of starter vendors would you recommend for building business credit? Uline and Granger are two good ones to start with. So those are good places to start. You're cooking today, Ty. I appreciate that. Okay. Oh, and Gianni, thank you very much. Gianni's talking about that EIN, and the answer is it's the 8822B form. So that's the actual form that you're going to need to update your actual EIN information with the IRS. So I appreciate that as well. I'm going to go to this Q&A. Not a lot of people in here, but wanted to answer live. Okay. And any help? We talked about the Canada. Currently in 30-day trial. Courtesy, I signed in today's webinar, my personal email. Yeah, just give us a call. If you guys have already enrolled and you're talking about the bonus package, if you're recent, then that's definitely possible. So give the person a call that you enrolled with, and we'll talk with you more about that. If you're in the business credit or lending industry, what code do you use when they don't like business funding? That's a really tough question. And the reason it's a tough question is because you're asking about your NEICS code. I have to have more information about your business to know that. And a simple example is Credit Suite. We offer software, we offer education, we offer, financial help, right? Financing services. So we can choose one of the other two because I know our model, the other two that works better. I don't know enough about your model. If you're just in the business credit or lending industry, how do you get customers? Do you do education? Do you do consulting? Those are things you want to look into to figure out what other industries could you be in, because financing and credit is high risk. But again, if you look at us, we definitely help people with business credit and funding, but we also are big on education. We're also big on software, so it gives us choices. So hopefully that answers your question, but it's hard to tell exactly what your NEICS is. That's some information that will help you figure that out. Can your physical address be residential? We talked about that as well. How can we go about getting a business address? We talked about that a bunch as well. I may be forced to, okay, we talked about playback as well. Our net 15 good? Yeah, any net account that reports to the business credit reporting agencies are good. Net 15, net 30, net 55 are pretty common. Can you help a beauty business? Yep, we can. We need funds for startup costs. We have been waiting for a government loan, and the process has been so long. Yeah, business credit works great for your industry. We've got a lot of solutions that can help you there. Give us a call and we'll talk a little bit more. Best EIC code in real estate. Guys, and I need you to understand, a lot of you are asking about this. So let me show you why it's difficult. So you're asking what the best NEICS code is for real estate. Okay. So let's look here and see. So if we look here at real estate, this is why I can't answer your questions. Look at this. I don't know enough about your business to know which subcategory of real estate that you're in. I think there's 30 or 40 subcategories. So when somebody asks me something like this and says, hey, what's the best SIC code for real estate? I don't know. I mean, there's 30 of them to choose from. And that's the whole point, is that for an NEICS code, our team on the back end works with you to figure that out, where they have more time on a one-on-one level, or you're going to want to go through and do an NEICS check to see which of these is a better fit. But I don't have enough, there's not enough time here to ask enough questions to determine which of those may be a better fit. Our team will help you with that, or you want to go to NEICS.com and find the best of those 30 plus subcategories where you might be a fit. And we talked about phone services as well. Buy and hold, fix and flip. Awesome. What's the difference between a business address and a virtual? We talked about that as well. What if you already have several of those steps? We talked about that as well. A lot of you are asking questions in the chat and in the Q&A, and I just got to one first. How can I participate with Credit Suite? My credit score is low and have almost no initial capital to invest. With such an excellent credit building program for a small business like mine, give us a call. We can work out a specialized payment plan for you. And the reality is, if you can't afford the plan that we can put together for you, then we've got the ability to remove our coaches and use our tech to be able to succeed without our coaches. And we've got the ability to finance it depending on where your credit scores are. So again, there's a lot of things we could do to help, but based on your individual scenario, I just don't know unless we talk. So give us a call. We'll talk through that for you as well. Okay. And let's go back. Can you help lawn care service? Absolutely. Fix and flip? Absolutely. Are we able to access the webinars? Yes, you got it. You're on the webinar. You'll get a playback of it tomorrow. Can you help? Okay, wow, informative presentation, great. I will be reviewing the Fundability program. I really appreciate that. Look forward to working with you. I had 3 companies. Yes, you can. A lot of our clients will go through and use the step-by-step to do the steps for every one of their businesses and do it for multiple businesses. You absolutely can do that. Can you do this with a DBA? You absolutely can, but you have to have an EIN. You can only build business credit for an EIN. So you have to have an EIN in order to build business credit. So any entity that you have set up where you have an EIN, you could build business credit for. I have my last 3 months bank statements, but not registered for one. I'm trying to get a loan. No accounts reporting. It's something we could talk through with you. There's a lot of individual questions we'd have to ask about getting a loan, but we can also talk to you more about getting the rest of this fundability foundation built out as well. Can you slow down? It's a little difference between a virtual mailing address and a virtual office. Sure. There's two types of addresses and offices. There's what's called a virtual office. A virtual office is a place like Alliance, Da Vinci, or Regis. The difference is Alliance, Da Vinci, and Regis either own or rent an entire building or an entire floor. They have physical office space. They have a receptionist when you walk in the front door. They have meeting areas, meeting rooms, offices you can rent. When you do a search for a Regis office, it's a real commercial building location. A virtual address is a P.O. box. It's a mailbox. It's no different than when you walk in the post office box and you put your key in the little box to get your mail. You go to UPS and you put your key in the box and you open up to get your mail. They're mailboxes. That's all they are. You're not going to get a physical office in a UPS store. You're only going to have a mailbox there. So a virtual office is a real office. A virtual address is a mailbox. It's like a virtual address or a virtual mailbox. So hopefully that helps you, Desiree. Can I use my personal trade lines to help my business credit? Nope. Personal credit and business credit are completely separate. You can use personal credit to expedite business credit building, and that's what Credit Line Hybrid will help you do. I have to go. Contact you later. Bye. I appreciate that. Rhonda, what's the difference between NAICS and SIC? SIC code used to be the old way of us looking at industries. NAICS is just a bigger group. So we used to have SIC codes, right? Then we came out with the internet. And so now we have the internet. And now with the internet, what happens is we have a lot more categories of businesses than we ever had before. So what we did was, as a country, we got with other countries in North America, and we all decided on one uniform code across all of North America to use that accounts for all of these different industries. So the NAICS code is the newest system that has to do with all North America and takes into account all new forms of industries. SIC code was for the United States, and it was older before a lot of these industries actually even existed. Thanks. Okay, would this mail address be more professional? A virtual office would be more professional than a home address, yes. Thank you for all the info. I appreciate you coming in. Thanks. If I get PG and my business is structured properly, how long will it take to get funding? It depends. We've got funding like cash flow financing that you can get in 24 hours. We've got credit lines you can get in 24 hours that's based on cash flow. So the way that we look at money, and too much to go over in this training, loans and credit lines are based on three things: cash flow, credit, or collateral. Depending on which of those you have determines what kind of money you can get and how long it will take to get that money. Then we've got business credit, which you can start getting right away, and it's not based on those three things. So the reality is, if you have a PG and good credit, you can get Credit Line Hybrid credit lines in 3 weeks. If you have consistent cash flow, you can get money in as little as 24 hours. If you have some kind of asset that can serve up as collateral, that asset that can serve up as collateral could get you money in as little as usually 2 weeks. So it depends on what you're using as leverage to be able to get that money. And I'm going to go, what types of starter vendors would you recommend? We talked about that already. Can you write the form number down here in the chat for me? Somebody else already did, but again, I did show that on the screen. Right here it is. So take a screenshot right now. It's 8822B form. You just have to take a screenshot of that right now, and that will actually get you. So it's 882. I think the reason you can't see it's because somebody's coming in from, no, somebody's in YouTube. So if you look at the chat on YouTube on this video, it's on the app for the YouTube video, just so you know. Okay. And okay, thank you for the great info. Do you now have a line of credit that we can apply to get on the suite? Yeah, you do. We do have a credit line now that you can use, and all you have to do is give us a call, send us an email, and I'm going to talk to them about putting that link on the webinar page as well. I thought it was there, but it's not there. Can you write the form? Okay, we talked about that. Just listen, but look forward to hearing it. It will be on YouTube for you, Princess, so you know that. Tavanda says, I highly recommend anyone request a free business consultation assessment. Yes, and this free finance assessment you can get just by giving us a call, and I really appreciate that, Tavanda. Thanks for that shout out. Keith says, if I'm not on the webinar, how do I get the playback? it will be on YouTube, Keith. If you're watching on YouTube right now, it will be on YouTube. You can also send us an email, and we will send you a link to the playback as well. Do you recommend a local virtual business office or an out-of-state? I recommend local to your business. And I was able to get a screenshot. Thank you. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I know I'm going to still have some questions come in. I'm not going to leave you hanging. Give us a call, send us an email, and we will get your questions answered. Okay, but I went through all the questions here in the chat, on the lives, everything I can, and I might answer a few more, and then I'm going to be done with questions here for the day. So all you just give us a call. We will make sure that they're answered. Do I have to call to if I get PG and my business name is structured properly? Okay, we'll talk about that. Do I have to call to get credit line? I didn't see. Yeah, you give us a call or send us an email. It's not on the webinar page yet, but I will get it added to the webinar page. I'm going to try to even get that done today. Can I use my trademark to get a loan? Your trademark alone by itself won't serve as collateral to get any kind of funding that I know of. But if you do find a way to do that, let me know. That's a program we'll offer. What's a credit line? Is it a specific credit card company or something else? What are the terms for the credit line? Way too many questions to answer here. Depends on you. The terms depend on your risk. They give you 12 months to basically pay it back. You get a certain period of time, I think, to be the same as cash type of deal on it as well. We actually have multiple companies that offer them, not just one. And some of them will, especially the main one of the main ones we use, we even give you the credit line once you pay us off to use for other purposes outside of that. But we could talk to you on an individual basis and be able to figure out the best option. Give us a call or an email. We'll talk to you. Do you ever coach? I do some very, very, very small one-on-one coaching, but I'm probably not the best to work with because I'm not cheap to work with me on for a one-on-one coaching. Although you will get really good results. It's definitely thousands of dollars to even consider me for that. But Rhonda, you could definitely reach out. I don't coach a lot of people. I usually only coach a handful of people at any given time. But you can reach out through email to my team, and we can talk a little bit more about that. Ty Ferrini, awesome. Thank you for an awesome seminar. Really breaks everything down better. I appreciate that. And saying the phone number isn't working. Our phone number absolutely works. But if you go to voicemail, just keep in mind, we've got thousands of people that, attend and call at the same time. So leave us a call. We'll see when you called. We'll call you back. But even just leave us a voicemail or send us an email. Phone number is working. I haven't had anybody else give me that concern, but sometimes our phones get overloaded with this. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I get a lot of good feedback. Amazing. You're the best. Such a blessing. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody coming in. Don't forget that if you have any questions, we are here to help you. Give us a call, send us an email. We will make sure that those questions are answered. Thank you for spending a couple hours with us. Don't forget 10,000 plus in bonuses if you're getting started by Friday. And by the way, if you like what we do for free, imagine what it's like to work with my team and I to help you through this actual process. Again, there's a reason we've got all this positive feedback, all these reviews, all these case studies. What we do works. We do more than we say we're going to do. We under-promise, over-deliver, and we've got a really phenomenal system to help you improve your fundability, build your business credit, and get loans and credit lines. Give us a call to talk more, and I'd love to be able to be the one that helps expedite this so you can get your $100,000 in business credit in 6 months or less. Thanks for tuning in.